What's up, everybody? Welcome back to FNQB. I'm your host, Sourav, and this is the show where we take intriguing on-the-rise high school athletes and we sit them down just to get to know a little bit more about them. Today, I'm joined by Ethan Brown, a senior who carries on the family name. He's going for one last ride at defensive end. How you doing, man?
Good, and you?
I'm not too bad myself. So we're just gonna sit down, play some Madden. First things first. Obviously, I mentioned before you're carrying on the family name. Do you feel any pressure to succeed, or do you use it as just extra motivation?
So there's always pressure to succeed because my brothers come to all the games. I have two younger sisters, two older brothers, both parents. All of them come to every game. So definitely pressure to succeed, but it definitely is motivation having family watching, and even now like family in other states watching the game. So sometimes there's a little pressure, but I try to use it as motivation towards doing my best.
So I went on a deep dive on your Instagram, and I saw that. Sorry about that. And you trained with the Navy.
I did.
And how was that like? You know?
Oh, it was crazy. So earlier this summer, I went there for a week, and it was quite the experience. A lot of early mornings. A lot of push-ups, a lot of running, a lot of getting yelled at. But that's always been my dream, is to go to the Naval Academy. So whatever it takes.
So would you consider playing football there and then maybe serving?
So my ultimate goal is to serve, and I've been talking with their football coach about maybe playing there. So, if all goes well this season, then I will be playing for the Naval Academy.
If you hadn't been playing for the Naval Academy, where would you prefer to be playing football?
So my older brother just graduated from UT Austin, and my other older brother's a sophomore at A&M. And so if I could play anywhere, it'd probably be A&M or Stanford.
Nice. Two very,
yeah,
very good colleges.
But they're also very, I'd have to have a pretty good senior year.
Are you being recruited by any schools?
So Navy, I've talked to the SMU coach, the Rice coach, the Incarnate Ward coach, Harvey Mudd and Claremont McKenna in California, and right now I'm really just looking at Naval Academy. And
congrats on that. So do you think that this Westwood team has the ability to be better than last year's surprise postseason run?
Oh, absolutely. This year we definitely have a lot of supporting roles that are being filled from last year. Instead of having a star on offense who pretty much carried us, we're definitely have a more spread offense. So that's definitely way more lethal than just having one person who we throw the ball to every time.
That's me. Nice. Thank you, Casey Hayward.
All good.
So, I want to take it back to early days. What made you start getting into defensive end as a position?
So I was always a bigger kid, and so I've been playing football since my earliest days. And so me and a lot of people from Westwood actually played back at Town and Country, and so I got put at defensive end, and then that's always just been my go-to. I played a little bit of quarterback in middle school, but
really
had my debut there, and then stuck to DN because that's what I was best at.
What's your favorite part about being a defensive end?
I don't know. I like being able to hit the quarterback. It's definitely a fun feeling I get to tee off on the quarterback most plays and just try and take his lights out.
So, Giants fan, I assume, right?
Yeah.
How'd you get into liking the Giants?
So I used to live in Illinois before we moved down to Austin, and so Kurt Warner played for the St. Louis Rams, and so he was my favorite player, and then he went to the Giants, and I was like, okay, like, I can go for the Giants, and then he left the Giants, and I was like, I'm going to stick with the Giants, and that'd be my team. And then they got surprisingly good for a couple of years, and then...
Especially in a city full of Cowboy fans.
Yeah, definitely a rivalry, but it also is awesome because I get to talk trash, and I get to go to games.
Nice, dude.
Can I tackle him? I went to the opening game at Dallas Cowboys Stadium against the New York Giants, and so that's always fun because Giants and Cowboys play twice a year. So
I want to talk about that postseason game versus San Marcos. And I mean, what was it like just playing in such a high stakes game?
So that was crazy for me because I'd never played in anywhere even close to that size field. What? Okay, that's kind of fake.
Hey,
I've never played in that kind of atmosphere, and having San Marcos, they sold out their entire side, and they were coming to our side, and it was crazy.
Really?
It was, the atmosphere was crazy. I wish we could have been on the winning side of that, but I mean, it was an experience, and it definitely will help build on. We'll have experience for this year when we make our state run.
I mean, as a Westwood student, I'm personally rooting for it. Go Wood, go Wood. But yeah, man. I was a little crushed by that defeat.
It was pretty upsetting. But I transitioned right into basketball, so.
What position?
I'm a center.
Really?
Yeah. It's all right.
You don't like it as much as defensive end?
No, football is definitely my number one and always has been. It's always been my go-to sport. Basketball is just something to keep me busy in the off-season.
You have a habit of dancing in the weight room.
That is.
Can you elaborate more on that?
So that's definitely a thing. Me and my friends, that's a big part of each of our workouts. Is it really just? It's like a brotherhood thing, and it like gets all our. Oh,
nice.
It gets like all our friends. We get dancing together, and it's just like a real fun atmosphere. And
it's kind of just like loosening.
Yeah, definitely for sure. It's definitely a hard workout. When you're up, you're going, but we also take time to relax and like hang with each other.
Going back on the Giants, obviously they had a rough year.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll now bounce back with like the addition of Saquon Barkley and obviously Odell Beckham Jr. returning?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like last season we can attribute probably like 8 of the losses on not having Odell because we kept coming down to the fourth quarter and then we just couldn't finish the game. And I feel like if we had Odell there, it would have helped tremendously. Especially since the fact in like 2016 he accounted for like 33% of our entire offense as one player. So
yeah. So do you follow college football as much as the NFL?
Not at all.
Really? So
but I actually I go to A&M games since
really?
my brother goes there, so I'll drive up there on Saturday mornings and see a game and stay with him the night. So I would say if I had to follow a team, it'd be A&M the most.
So you've been to A&M games, you've been to that crazy atmosphere.
How
is
absolute.
I mean, I've always wanted to go to Kyle Field. How has that been?
It's a feeling like none other. I couldn't even imagine playing in front of a 120,000 person sold out stadium. It's crazy. The sun setting. Everybody's on their feet. Everybody loves football. It's crazy. I feel like San Marcos is a taste of that. Not even close to the real thing, but just a taste.
Oh no, that was bad.
Oh.
So, you're a senior. This is going to be your last ride upcoming this year. What's been your favorite part about Westwood throughout your entire high school career?
No.
Wow. Nice.
No way. I definitely love the brotherhood. Like, me and my friends, we grew up, we were playing when we were 3rd grade, we were playing football together, and now 9 years later, we're starting on varsity together, and I really like that's an awesome feeling, is to have brothers that I've grinded with for 9 years to get to where we are, to have fun right now.
What's been your favorite moment of your Westwood career?
Favorite moment of my Westwood career? It might not even be football. I against Decaney in the second round playoffs for basketball. I was JV all year. I was pretty good on JV this past season. I was all right, but nothing special. And I got moved up for playoffs. Didn't play the first game. In the second game, I had 13 minutes against the number 5 team in the state. And so that was crazy, playing against people who are just absolutely insane.
So do you have any like pre-game traditions before before games, or what do you like?
Pre-game traditions. So before games, before we even go to the stadium, we dance a lot in the weight room, or not in the locker room.
Yeah.
So I definitely say that would have to be one of our pre-game traditions. It's just dancing and turning up in the locker room before we head out to the other stadium or wherever we're playing.
And you're a big dancer, huh?
It's pretty fun.
Do you have any like personal expectations for this year? Like, what are your goals for this year?
My goal is to obviously be a captain on the defense and captain on the team is to lead my team, and also I want to get us back to the playoffs because back when my brothers played, there were high standards every year to make playoffs and go deep, and then in the past couple of years we've went 0-10, 2-8, 5-5, and so I definitely want to put us back to where we have been in recent years. So that's definitely one of my personal goals is to lead the effort to come back to those years.
And with the new young talent that you've been getting, do you think that this is one of the stronger Westwood sides in recent memory?
Oh, absolutely. We have insane people. I mean, RJ is crazy. Luca is going crazy at camps. Nate is amazing. I mean, I really can't wait to play with these guys. And even more so as like a team, since I played against them in spring ball, but we were always going against each other, so I like was in my head kind of rooting against them. But coming up this year, we can all be
friends.
Oh,
that's mine.
That's a pick six.
Oh, dude. If I had broken that tackle, that's a pick six for sure.
Hopefully not.
All right, so what's been your relationship with Coach Wood?
So I've known him since early middle school, elementary school, because my older brother was the captain. So like I'd come to all the games, I'd be on the sideline, I'd be there every game, want to be right next to the plays, watch everything happen. And so I definitely have known him from an early age. There's the thing called speed and weight, where they work out in the summer. I've been going to that since elementary school. So I mean, definitely spent a lot of time talking to him. And it's grown even more so this year because during lunch I'd come just talk, hang out, more as like we started developing as like friends too, rather than just coaching.
Has he been like a father figure to you in some way, or has he more just been like a bud?
I'd say he definitely has been a mentor on about like how to go about football and then even developing as like a young man. I don't know if I'd put it as father figure, but he definitely has been a mentor to me.
Do you try to model your game after anyone? Do you like watch film on people, get tips?
So I definitely have watched a lot of film. That's definitely where I pride myself on, is I watch a lot of film. I watch the offensive line. I watch them day before, week before, game before. So I know like everything about them because I'm not the strongest, not the fastest, but I definitely feel like I can outsmart a lot of people. So I definitely watch a lot of film to try and,
Do you pride yourself on your football IQ?
I definitely I have a pretty high football IQ. I've been around football for so long. I feel like I know a lot more than some people, and like I can like use it to get around some of the like physical detriments.
I heard that you have a jiu-jitsu background. How'd you get started in that?
So freshman year, I broke my nose right before football season, and I wanted to fight, and I was like, what can I do that's fighting? And I'm like, Mom, can I do MMA? And she's like, no way. And I'm like, okay, well, how about jiu-jitsu? And she's like, that can work. And I was like, awesome. And so I dove headfirst into that. I went to 2 classes a day. Then I started doing tournaments and stuff and had a blast doing it.
What belt are you on right now?
I'm a blue belt.
Really? So you've been learning for a while?
Yes, for like 2.5, 3 years.
No, you almost walked that. Yeah. Who's been like your motivation? Who's the reason you've kept going? Or what's the reason you've kept going for so long?
It's definitely been my brothers. My brothers come to every single game. They are at a lot of my practices. And so it's really like, that fuels me because I want to make them proud so they can come on a Friday night at a packed stadium and be like, that's my brother, the one sacking the quarterback, instead of some kid on the sideline.
I assume, since you're so close with your brothers, do they mentor you a lot?
Oh, absolutely.
Were they previously defensive ends before?
So my oldest brother was a defensive end. He was all district, got offers. And then my older brother, who's a sophomore at A&M, he was a middle linebacker. So he didn't have the same, but he played D end in like middle school and stuff, so he kind of is in the club, but only kind of.
What's been the most valuable tip that your brothers have given you?
Work ethic. It beats athleticism all the time. I'm definitely not as strong as most of the people I go against, really probably ever, and I still can make them look silly by just having perfect technique every play.
One last question. Obviously 9 seconds left before the game ends. Why do you wear number 80?
I wanted number 44, and Coach Wood gave me 80.
So you're just stuck with it?
Yeah, no real sentimental value, and I just got stuck with it. And then I had a good year with it, and I'm like, why not? I'll keep it.
Have you just grown into it?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted number 44 because that's my older brother's number, but, I mean, no hard feelings. I don't really care that much.
All right, well, game's come to an end. Still undefeated.
I'll get you sometime.
Dude. Ethan Brown. You can find him terrorizing QBs on the field and Friday night prime time. This has been Friday Night QB. I'm your host, Sourav. Once again, we'll see you later.